this is day 3 of 5.1. So scientific notation, quick definition, is a number is written in scientific notation if it is in the form c times 10 to the nth power, where c is anywhere between 1 and 10, which just means it's a single digit number, and n is an integer. Remember, each time you move a decimal point, you are multiplying or dividing by a power of 10. Okay, so in number 1 here, we have 4.58 times 10 to the 6th power. So some of you may remember from science doing this. So if I have 4.58, if I want to multiply this by 10 to the 6th power, we need to move this decimal point 6 places to the right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's our new decimal point. And then we fill in each of the place values with a 0. So this would end up giving me 4,580,000 as my decimal form for this scientific notation. Okay? Sometimes you have to multiply your c value by a negative exponent. So in this case, if I have 4.58 and I'm multiplying it by 10 to the negative 3rd power, this would be like dividing by a power of 10. So that I'd have to move my decimal point 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3. There's my decimal point. And then fill in my place values. So this is the same as saying 0.00458. One thing that I like to think in my head is if there is a positive exponent in scientific notation, you are typically working with a large number, where if there's a negative, you are working with a smaller number. Okay, so for number 3 here, right now I have a large number where my decimal point is on the very end. So to write this in scientific notation, I need to figure out how many decimal places do I need to move in order for me to get a single digit number. So I'm going to move my decimal point to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places, because that gives me a single digit number of 3.81. So for my scientific notation, I'm going to write my 3.81. That falls between 1 and 10. And then I need to just count my number of decimal places that I had to move to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. So this would be 10 to the positive 5th power. Okay, I know it is positive because when going from decimal form to scientific notation, moving to the left gives you a positive exponent, because that is how you would undo the decimal movement that you just did. Opposite goes with a smaller number. So for one like number 4 here, I'm going to move my decimal place to the right until I get a single digit number, 1.02. So I've got 1.02 times 10. I move my decimal place 1, 2, 3, 4 places to the right. So this would give me 10 to the negative 4th power. Okay. So examples that we'll be working with in class look something like these. Okay. You will have your c values, and then you will have 10 to, the nth power. So using scientific notation, so we are trying to simplify our scenario here so that it's in scientific notation. So right now, in number 5 here, we are not in scientific notation because we have 234.6. We need a single digit number. So in this case, we are going to need to move our decimal place 2 places to the left. Okay, remember, going from decimal form to scientific notation, a movement to the left, or a shift to the left of your decimal point, gives you a positive exponent. So this would give me 2.346 times 10, we moved our decimal place 2 points, to the second power. Okay, that is how we shifted here. Yet, we still had 10 to the ninth power left over. So this would be times 10 to the ninth power. Okay, nothing's going to change with my C value here. I still got 2.346. That's what we needed for scientific notation. But then we're going to have to multiply our exponents here. Remember, when you are multiplying two common bases with exponents, it's the same as adding your exponents. So we would just say 2 plus 9. So we have 10 to the 11th power. Okay, that's my scientific notation. All right, we're going to skip the right side here. We'll save those ones for class. Well, let's go down to number 7. Okay, in number 7, we are multiplying two different scientific notations. So we are going to kind of combine like terms in a sense. We're going to multiply our C values, and we are going to multiply our tens. So this is the same as having 8.5 times 1.2 and 10 to the 7 times 10 to the third power. So right here, we are going to multiply these. That's going to end up giving me 10.2 times 10 to the 7th times 10 to the 3rd. This gives me 10 to the 10th power. You are adding your exponents. So we are no longer in scientific notation at this point, since we have exceeded 10. So we have to move this decimal place one place to the left. So let's ignore our 10 to the 10th power as of now, and just focus on how to move this decimal place. So now I've got 1.02 times, in order to move this decimal place 1 to the left, I'd have to move it 10 to the first power. Now let's drop down my 10 to the 10th power and simplify. So nothing's going to change with my C value. 0.02 times 10 to the first times 10 to the second. We'll add my exponents. So that'll give me 10 to the 11th power. All right. My final example here, I have two different scientific notations, and we are dividing them. So in order to divide them, we can, simplify my C values by just dividing, and then we will simplify my 10 to my exponents by subtracting my exponents. So 3.2 divided by 6.4, some of you may be able to see this. This is the same as saying 1/2. Since we're working with scientific notation though, let's write this as a decimal. So my C value becomes 0.5 times, if we are dividing my tens to my exponents, it's the same as subtracting the exponents. So I've got -6 minus 2, which would just give me 10 to the -8th power. Okay, I am no longer in scientific notation since 0.5 is less than 1. So in order to get this in scientific notation, I need to move my decimal place one place to the right. So remember, when going from decimal to scientific, if you are moving to the right, it is the same as having a negative exponent. So in order to move this, I would have 5 times 10 to the -1st power. Now I'll drop down my 10 to the -8th power, and then I just need to simplify my tens here. So I've got 5 times, add my exponents, 10 to the -9th power. And there we go. All right, so scientific notation, it's one of those things. It can be quite confusing right away. Looks like there's a lot going on, but with practice, it is very doable. Okay, we'll go over the rest of the examples together in class. Please bring any questions that you guys have. Thanks for watching.